Hey makers, and welcome to today's video. We're going to be talking about how to bookkeep for your craft business to make sure that you stay on the right side of the law and you know what profit and loss that you're making within your business. So I run a craft business here in southern Spain, but I'm also a UK chartered financial accountant. So I thought I'd share some of my knowledge about how to keep my books all neat and tidy with you guys. But before we jump into that subject, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel so that you're notified when I post new videos. Most creative people are not the best at keeping their financial receipts and transactions sorted. We want to make things. We do not want to know where our receipts are. We do not want to work with spreadsheets. Well, unfortunately, if you want to know how your business is doing, you're kind of going to have to know how to do it. I'm going to show you a quick and easy way to just get you started so that you know how much profit or loss you're making. You know what are the best sellers that you make and make some more of them. You need to know how much money you're making. You need to know if a product is not profitable. Don't make it unless you really love it and you're just doing it as a hobby. That's fine. But to run a craft business successfully, you need to have your finger on the pulse and you need to know exactly what money you're making or losing. So let's dive straight in. The simplest way for small businesses to get started is what we call in the biz single entry bookkeeping. It is the simplest form of accounts, and all it is looking at your cash flow. The biggest reasons small businesses fail is because they don't know what their cash flow looks like. They don't know if they're spending way too much and not making enough money. Of course, for the more advanced out there, there is also double entry bookkeeping. However, you don't need to know that just yet. I will explain it in a later video. So what is single entry bookkeeping? All it is recording the cash coming in and going out of your business. So let's take a look at the most simple form of single entry bookkeeping. This is what the most basic single accounting spreadsheet looks like. You can do this on Excel or you can do it on Google Sheets. I've done this template on Google Sheets so I can share the template with you. Feel free to use it. The link will be in the comments below. At the top here would be your company name. And then underneath, cash account ledger. That's what this is. It's a ledger that's accounting for your cash. That is exactly what single entry bookkeeping is. Then we have a date, description, and the total. On the 1st of January, we open our business, so our opening balance is 0 because we've not actually started trading yet. Let's say then on the 2nd of January, we put some money into our account. Let's say we put £2,000 to start our business. On the 3rd of January, as we're crafters, we're going to buy a heat press. And that cost us £200. So as you can see now, this is not caught that first initial entry because that's our capital, that's our investment into our business. We want to see our profit and loss. So £200 has gone out of our business. So right now, we're making a £200 loss. And let's say on the 3rd of January, we also buy some heat transfer vinyl to put on our t-shirts. And we buy that for, let's say 100. We've now made 300 loss. Although in double entry bookkeeping, you would account for the other side. You would have an asset on that other side, but we'll go into that in a bit more detail in a different video. We've got the heat press, we've got the HTV, but hey, we need some t-shirts to put this on. So on the 3rd of January, again, we'll buy some t-shirts. And this is going to cost us £50. So our first week of our business, we're super excited and we're making lots of t-shirts. So let's say on the 10th of January, we make our first sale. And we sell £100 of t-shirts. Let's say we make some more
We've been busy bees through January making t-shirts, and we've made some pretty decent sales. So we sold £100 on the 10th of January, £75 on the 15th of January, and whopping £200 on the 25th of January. So overall in this month, in January, we're closing the month out on a £25 profit. Now I know this doesn't sound that much, but you have made your initial investments here with a heat press, your transfer vinyl, and your t-shirts. And this is a very, very simple accounting ledger for your cash. Now you might think, well, this actually looks like my bank statement. And you would be right. I cannot recommend enough that you get your own bank account, which is completely separate to your personal transactions, because it's going to get confusing. So I highly recommend you open a new bank account. And then at the end of each month, you can actually reconcile what has come in and out of the bank account against what you have in your cash ledger. This should help keep your transactions straight and knowing exactly what you've made. So just to recap, this amount here, these amounts here, these are totaling up to £25 in profit. You're not counting the original investment because that is capital. That is the investment in your company. This really doesn't tell us very much, except overall, how much profit have I made? It's not really giving you any detailed information, and there could be a better way of doing this that gives you a bit more information on where you're spending your money and how you're making your sales. So let's take the details from the previous page that we just looked at. We opened our business in January, but as you can see, there's all these extra columns which are going to give us some really good information. One of the biggest differences on this column is the reference column. This is super important that you have some kind of reference system. This will really help you when it comes to time to give your accountant all those receipts and invoices. I highly recommend that you use a referencing system to keep track of all your receipts and invoices. I also recommend that you scan them onto the computer if you have that facility available. You would scan them into the computer and name them using this reference. This way you can easily find the receipt or invoice that you need without having to dig through hundreds of pieces of paper. Highly recommend. So as you can see, we put our investment in of £2,000 and that's gone under the capital column. This is capital, it's not profit and it's not loss. It's what you invested into your business at the beginning. And if you notice, it's not been counted in these columns here, just purely because it's an investment and it's not going to give you your profit or your loss. Then we bought that heat press, remember, on the 3rd of January. So we're going to go over here and we're going to put it under equipment. And this has its own column. So you can actually see what you're spending on the equipment that you need to have your business up and running. Then on the 3rd of January also, we bought some t-shirts and we bought some heat transfer vinyl for £150. This goes in the consumables column. You can have as many columns as you want, and you can also name them to make it more suitable for your business. This is a very, very simple version, but you can absolutely extend it to get some really good detailed information on where your money's going and what you are selling. What's your best sellers and what's your worst sellers. So this goes in the consumables, as I said, and then we made some sales, yay, and we put that in the sales column. So overall, we made £375 of sales in January, and we spent £150 on consumables, and we spent £200 on equipment. Overall, we made that £25 profit. As you can see, we've now got in the bank £2,025. That £25 was your profit that we didn't really know much about in the last spreadsheet. The link to this template will be in the comments below, and feel free to download and make any changes that you wish. The more information you have on your business, the more successful you will be.
So we've taken a look at both of those and hopefully they will help you get started with your craft business. Single entry bookkeeping is great if you're starting off. As mentioned earlier, there is also double entry bookkeeping, the debits and the credits, which we will go into in a later video. However, I just want to point out there are limitations to single entry bookkeeping. First off, it is only good if you're a small business. Once you start growing, you're going to have to bite the bullet and start doing your double entry, which is recording both sides of the transaction. Number 2, if you forget to record a transaction, it's gone. You're not going to know it's there. So you really need to be disciplined at making sure that you're recording every transaction. This is where a bank account that is solely for your business helps. And number 3, and this kind of goes back to the first point, is that it's not going to give you a true position of your business because you're only accounting for one side. I hope this overview of single accounting bookkeeping has been useful to you in your craft business or in any other business. Accounts are accounts, no matter what business you are in. Don't be scared about accounting. It is super simple once you get a routine in place. Please like below, subscribe, and hit that little bell for the future videos. From me, Duquesa Girl, happy crafting, and I'll see you on the next video.